I was 29 years old. I had a daughter who was 9 years old, a son who was 6, and my daughter Martha, who's 3. And I was going to the UK football game, and my 9-year-old daughter, who had never been sick, was really very healthy. She was with us, and she had to stop halfway there. She couldn't breathe. So I thought, well, you know, just everything's fine. She's fine now. Well, she came home from school Monday, and she said, "Mom, I had to sit out during folk dancing today. I couldn't breathe." Well, immediately, I had her in the car on the way to Lexington. They met us in the parking lot with a portable oxygen tent and took her upstairs, clothes and all. Well, they told us to go to UK. They took us over to UK. She had 19 doctors. UK flew in a pediatric cardiologist from New York to come in and do a heart catheterization. She almost died during this time. We were told we could take her home, let her see everybody, and come back the next day, and they would do a lung biopsy. They were calling it pulmonary hypertension with an undetermined origin. All of these other children had died. That brought no comfort at all. And they were sending a biopsy. And she died on the operating table. Our lives changed. They've not ever been the same. Don't wait until you have a problem. Don't wait until you have a crisis in your life before you turn to the Lord. But I knew that I did have a choice. I had a choice at that point, before I ever left the hospital, to turn to God, believe the Word, stand on the Word, be joyful, put a smile on my face and joy in my heart. Or I could spend the rest of my life being bitter and angry and depressed and wallowing in self-pity. But I knew in my spirit, man, if I wanted to walk out of that hospital, I had to draw on everything that I ever knew. And Romans 8:28 is a scripture that I've stood on so long that says, "But we know that God works all things together for good to those who love the Lord and are called according to His purposes." I never had a doubt that I knew where she was and that I would see her again. I had a dream. And in this dream, I saw Julie, my daughter, walking in this garden. And it was a beautiful garden. There were trees, there were greenery, there were flowers everywhere, and there was a white picket fence that was all around it. And I heard this tinkling of these wind chimes, these glass wind chimes. And I can remember feeling peace that just came over me. And at that point, Julie reached up her hand toward me. And I knew I was on the outside looking in. And at that point, Jesus, what I thought was Jesus, in long white robes, walking beside her, and he had his arm around her, and they walked away from me. And from that time on, I never worried about who was loving her, who was taking care of her. I'm Darla Russell, and this is my journey.